Good morning. What the Holy Spirit gave me is this morning is learning to take L's when you're being a servant. And what I mean by learning to take L's is learning to take losses. You know, being a servant and taking losses really run hand in hand because one of the things you have to truly know, first thing is you have to understand how to extend grace just as well as God extended grace to you. And the second one is forgiveness because everybody don't learn the same. Everybody don't understand the same. That's why when Jesus was on the cross, he said, forgive them for what they know not. Now there's a difference once they come into the truth and in life, there's an accountability factor. But at that moment, we judge and we discern without finding understanding on that person's behalf. And we still have to continue to pray when they do us wrong, try to understand, and hopefully we can pray for their souls so their souls can be saved. We can pray that God puts the roofs and poles around them so that they can have that connection and give them understanding to go to that next level. So when someone do you wrong, being a servant means you take that L. You take that loss. Because when Jesus was going up to Calvary, they beat him and they tortured him. At any given time, all of that could have been changed if he wanted to, but he knew the greater purpose. So being a servant, you always have to understand what the greater purpose is. That's why the word says, in all things find understanding. You know, sometimes we look at people just because they're a certain age, don't even understanding that the environment that were that they were born into was sin. There are spirits that are waiting on you. And because that they're assigned to you and they're waiting on you, and that deliverance is never there. Just because you're a certain age doesn't mean you're still not deeply rooted. You were delivered, or that person was delivered. So that's why the word said, judge not, or you will be judged. Understand, because he could be 50 or she could be 60, doesn't mean she had that deliverance or that understanding coming up. Everybody comes from a different environment. So you always want to reach out and ask that question. Do you really understand what that means? Or tell me what you think. That gives you the ability to discern what's going on, because a lot of times is the word said we perish because of a lack of knowledge. And maybe you the only person can give that person knowledge because of your connection. So that's why it's so important when people are drawn to you, you might be the only grace they see. You might be the only church that they're attached to. So extending that grace and giving them that understanding in the truth and the spirit of God through his word might be the only deliverance that they would know. We look at quantities and not quality. But the word said if you save just one, that one should be able to save another. It becomes a domino effect. That's why the quality of the word that you give them is important, because you might be the only grace they see. So never get caught up in the self, and understand, are you willing to take that L? Because maybe you are their saving grace. Saving their soul. Hopefully that when they depart here, their soul would enter into heaven. And you could have been the part that they planted that seed. So be that church for that person who's in your life that don't understand. And extending that grace because of their lack of understanding. So today, have a wonderful day, and knowing that being a servant, you have to willingly take that L. Have a good day.